Hey guys, I'm playing Olegas in the 5-minute pool, the legendary Olegas, who's been the subject of a lot of hate on various videos from channels. Perhaps deservedly so, who knows. Alright, we'll see how we do. Yeah, I say hate because he's been known to flag people somewhat mercilessly. This is funny, I just had this line in an OTB game not long ago. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a strategy. So he plays really fast, and, I just got to stay even or ahead on the clock, ideally. As you can see, his rating is really high. He's quite a good player. So let's do, let's do rook c8. I'm going to let his knight get into c5, but then I'm going to play rook c7. We'll see how this goes. I've played this guy many times in the past. Not recently, because honestly I've been on like something of a ICC hiatus for a while. What's the best move? Just go b6. But I do recall playing this guy quite a bit when I used to be more heavily involved on ICC. Now I'm getting back into it. Let's do knight takes. So, exchange Slav position. Let's just double. He can annoy me and play bishop a6 if he wants. I think in order to fully unwind here, I should put a knight on b8 and then maybe play a6 myself coming up. That would be good. Or maybe knight a5, now that he's played that move. How about knight a5? Yeah. And take control of the file. He might just take on b7 and then play rook b1. We'll do that. That's a good move. Okay, so he's going to try to take over the file. Can I go knight b7? Yeah. And then maybe knight b8 next move to kick his bishop out. Pretty darn close to equal. But yeah, it seems like Olegas has been the subject of many, many videos for whatever reason. Well, I mean, not for whatever reason. He's kind of known as a player who likes to get the pieces off the board, and he's very quick, plays for time. So, okay, I don't want to cede the file completely, so I'm gonna go rook c7, see if I can get him to trade. Then I'm gonna play queen c8 on the next move. Just a really equal endgame. Knight d7's fine. Queens are coming off. Let's centralize. Okay. I don't think it's such a big deal that he gets g4 in. I kind of want to play e5. It'll give me an isolated pawn, but I like the space that my king gains because of it. So I'll do that. Yeah, I like this. I like the look of this. It's quite an active position. Maybe now I play b5 just to nail his a3 pawn in position. Yeah, let's do that. And I can maybe follow with a5, a4. I have a tiny bit of pressure. I don't think he's in any trouble at all. But I think I'd rather be in my shoes at this point. We've got a lot of time for this endgame. So that's nice. Do I want to play a4 or not? I see kind of a cool tactical idea. Okay, I'm going to play a4. I wonder if this idea works. See, if I might be able to play knight takes b2, and then if he takes b4, nah, that probably won't work. It's an idea, though. Let's maybe go g5 first. And then maybe f6. He can't do a whole heck of a lot right now. I think I can break through with d4 sometime soon. Maybe now. Yeah, I like breaking through with d4. Because then if he takes, I take, I move my king up. Let's do that. I think now's the time to do it. If he goes e4, I have knight d2 check. So, and I'm threatening his pawn. He can't really ignore this threat. I don't believe. There's a lot of zugzwang themes in the works. I like the fact now that I move these pawns up, that will help significantly when I eventually go after his queenside pawns. All right, I'm doing okay on time against him. It's good. That was my goal. If I don't lose my head, I have really good chances to win this endgame. Okay, what's he doing? He's trying to avoid a zugzwang, but I think I can go here. Yeah. I think that move first is best. Then king e2, then take on d4. Yeah, then I'll play f5. But I think I can, like, triangulate him. No. It's tricky. It's tricky. Knight g4. Knight e3, I mean. It's very tricky. Take on b2. He takes b4. That almost works, I think. Does that work? That'd be cool if that worked. I'm burning a lot of time, but this is a crucial moment. I think that might work. Let's do it. My king is in such a good position right now. Okay. Let's be careful.
Check.
Yeah. Knight c1, king c2. Oh no. No, I think I'm good. Let's go here. I'm not going to take his knight yet. Man, he can't force me to take his knight. Take there. I'm going to get myself stalemated. That would be so bad. That would be such a shame. I think I might be blowing it.
Time.
Guess I'll just take. Yeah, and I have to stalemate myself. Or just... Yeah, I can't do much, can I? Yeah, it's a draw. Oh, I blew it. That's a really nice saving resource by him. Let's just do a draw. I think... Yeah, I had that endgame much better. It's too bad. You found a nice resource at the end. Give him credit. So right here, I'm just so close to winning. I just can't quite work out the details. I mean, if I can get this position with him to move, it's a win. But if I go here, he goes here. And I don't think I can triangulate him. So, and if I go here, he has a check. Right? And then if king d5, I didn't like this move. Going after the f pawn. I mean, possibly I can just take and then
Check.
like win this endgame, but I just wasn't sure. That might be a win. Huh. I really thought I was winning this. But he found a nice defense. Take here. Here.
Check.
Here. Yeah, that was very clever. King d1. I think it's just a draw now. I can try to dance around, but yeah, it's a draw. And I mean, if I advance this pawn, yeah, this is still a draw, but I'd have to eventually play h5, and then this, which is also a draw in a funnier way. Yeah, I thought I was going to win after this d4 breakthrough. It was looking very good. I thought about like putting my knight on e4, but I don't think that's the most direct way to do this. Must be a win. I could take on d4 directly once again in this position, but I got kind of fancy. Okay, I'm going to add the engine. Knight d6. So the engine wants to do some plan with like running the king into his position. So doing that and then going like here and here, I suppose. And then eventually this knight can make an appearance again on either e4 or c4. Boy. I'm just surprised there's not a better way to play this other than that, what it was just suggesting. Actually thinks he can win this? How? Oh, that's clever. So take here. Yeah, neither of us considered this line. Take, or sorry, not take. A takes b4. And then if a3, knight d3. And if I go a2, he has knight c1. And if I queen, he forks on b3 with check and wins. So I would have to get a knight in that case. Whereupon black is just down a pawn, and that whole knight takes b2 combination was for nothing. This was thematic, though, because knights are notoriously bad at stopping rook pawns. And a knight... This is one endgame book I have called 100 Endgames You Must Know by this Portuguese grandmaster, Jesus de la Villa. It's a really great book. I suggest getting it. He calls this the knight's dumb square, which is basically like the fianchettoed bishop square. So like knights on b2, b7, g7, or g2. The knight's dumb square, because it has very limited options from there. And like when I push b4, it's hard for him to stop my a pawn. But yeah, this move would have been good, huh? a3, knight d3. Very hard to see in a blitz game, this whole concept. So let's see if the way he played it does pan out to a draw.
Check.
It's a nice resource. Yeah, and he stays close to my king. And probably good I didn't try to win this somehow. Like, I thought briefly about trying to run my king back over towards his kingside pawns, but I don't think it works. Interesting game, nonetheless. We just repeated moves. I don't think the rest of this game was really anything to write home about. It was an exchange Slav. I felt I equalized without too many problems. Wonder what the engine thinks of my decision to play e5 coming up. I like this move. Even though it gives me an isolated pawn, I like the activity that I'm garnering because of this.
Check.
Yeah, I think after this I'm just a little bit better. Especially when my knight gets into c4, because he has trouble ever advancing these pawns. Would d4 have been even stronger here? Apparently it was. I wonder if that's because I saved some tempos on the king side. So with this... Yeah, that might be the case. King takes d4. Uh-huh. So if I keep these pawns back, I may have more tempos. I mean, the engine's showing a more clear-cut win. Interesting. I mean, I kind of just played like g5 and f6 on general principles. Just gain space and blockade his pawns. Maybe keep his knight out of e5. But it's interesting that when the d4 break eventually comes, I may be missing those tempos. Because it would be ideal for me to be able to play a pawn move right now. That would be the best thing. So, pawn move right here after he plays f5. Okay. Well, very intriguing game versus Olegas. Hopefully I get this opponent again. He's very high rated. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please leave me any feedback in the comments, and thanks for watching, guys.